Nothing like a little liquid death to start the night, huh? All right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Glitch Agent back with another video. Today we're playing some more Baldur's Gate 3. If you guys were watching yesterday, we're going to have to come back to that spot a little bit later. Didn't work out well for me. You know, I tried a couple things off camera and it still didn't work. So with that being said, we are going to be moving on, trying to find a different location and whatnot. So yeah, so today what we're going to be doing is, like I said, playing some Baldur's Gate 3, trying to make our way into the Undercraft. I'm not sure if that part's unlocked on this mode yet, or if it's going to give me the whole come back when the game gets released kind of deal. If that's the case, we'll just we'll start another character. So with that being said, as Whale, we are watching where we left off yesterday, the trail and the toll, part of campaign 3, episode 3 of Critical Role. You guys can go back and watch some of my earlier videos or live streams. You guys can go ahead and catch up with the episodes there on that. So with that being said, we're going to jump into the game here. Let's wait for it to load. And while it's loading, we're going to talk a little bit about what's to come for the next week or so. So let's see. We're going to pull up the calendar here. Clear all notifications. So here, so not next Thursday, not the following Thursday, but the Thursday after. So pretty much one of the last Thursdays of June, the third Thursday, I will be live streaming. I'll be live streaming the game 6 Days of Fallujah. For those who don't know, it's a game based in 2004. One of the deadliest battles the Marine Corps ever fought was in a place called Fallujah over in Iraq. And it's a game based on that. So we will be live streaming that all weekend long. And seeing how we do and how we fare with that. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and jump into the game. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. So, as far as the D&D session thing that I was talking about with me and some of the guys, that's starting in about 2 weeks or so. We're trying to figure out our work schedules and everything. To see when we can make that happen. So possibly 2 weeks or so. We'll be doing that on a Friday. So I will not be streaming that Friday. It'll be every other Friday that I do stream. But I will stream on Saturday into early Sunday as well. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead, start up where we left off yesterday. I believe we left off with them searching a home or house, one of the two. Looking for anything in the house, just rummaging through a house. So we'll start from there.
Can I look out? Do I see anyone running on the street or?
I'll say do a short intermission. Probably around. Decision. Probably with the next episode. Please, we've got about.
Five. Looking down over into the alley, kind of glancing around. It's low lit in here. You do not see anybody at the moment. All right, so finishing that, we'll say we're technically now out of combat. We'll go ahead and bring this down to what are you doing as you all hear Imogen shout this.
I'm gonna, hearing my girl, I'm gonna run out to this balcony over here and see if I see anything.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
All right. 5.
You see me on the other balcony.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, nothing. 9 total, but I mean.
Yeah, no, glancing down the alley, same thing. You're both not catching sight of anything in particular.
I'm gonna open that trunk and see if Danis's body is shoved in there.
Okay, you go ahead and shift over to the trunk. You go ahead and lift it up inside. It is empty. It is a storage trunk.
Okay, that's gory.
So remember, Baldur's Gate is it's in early access right now, so you can catch this game.
Yes, but I don't want to.
I believe it comes out on the
Can I look
31st of
under the
August
bed
for
and see if there's
PS5
anything like a
and
doorway
for.
under the bed or anything?
Sure, make an investigation check.
Letters will help, I'm sure.
We're not going that way, guys. Sorry,
or I'm still kind
I
of
can't
front
do it.
like
They
maybe
just,
guided
it
by the
whoops
So
the
you
shit out of me every time I go.
20? Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, we'll get that in a second. As you see how Laudna's off on the balcony looking over to the side, and you hear Imogen shouting, and they're kind of like in the process of looking for where this individual might be hiding or running. You go ahead and start inspecting around. You look under the bed. You do not find anything under the bed, but as you begin to kind of feel on the ground, you kind of begin to push into the darkness and feeling along where the table was. And underneath the table on the opposite side, you touch what looks to be a boot of some kind.
Uh-oh.
What are the rest of you doing?
Deadly boot.
I'm tossing furniture in the main room, and I'm probably going to make my way. I'm not being subtle about it. I'm going to make my way into the bedroom.
Okay.
I will have limped my way over to where Laudna is, and I'll actually leap down to ground level and see if I can spot our runaway.
Okay. So you leap down. What's everyone else doing?
Since I was near Imogen, I'm gonna slither over to where.
At this point, we'll say for the purposes of this, he is gone. And you know generally where everything is in the room.
Is the darkness
Is
still
the darkness
up?
up?
It's lingering.
Wow.
Can
How
I
long does it
use,
last?
since I don't trust this,
Must be 10 minutes.
whatever this is, can I just use my telekinetic pull and like pull the whatever it is toward me?
Yep. Two of the chairs like kind of get shoved out of the way, and you watch as a limp female gnome body is extracted from the darkness, covered in crimson.
Letters!
Well, I'm coming. I'll roll over to where I heard this call, and do I see this
Don't worry about
dead
this for now.
Danis?
Indeed.
Well,
Pale and bloodied.
I'll cast just in case, spare the dying, but I don't know if they're still fighting.
Okay. Make a medicine check.
19 plus things. Plus 5.
Fantastic. You go ahead and cast Spare the Dying and go over to inspect, and there is no pulse to this body. It unfortunately did not survive between the time of whatever, and now looking at it, you can see there's a grievous wound from the bottom of one ear across the throat and almost taking the head off the neck. What are the rest of you doing? As you jump down,
Trying to.
yep, go make a perception check.
Room, I'm going to the hallway
get to
just to
roll
look and
a
see if
natural
we've attracted
one.
commotion or
Close the door, block it.
There's
didn't
definitely.
leave much of the door.
You can see there's a few patrons kind of like out in the hallway, leaning, going kind of glancing in the direction of where you are, looking a bit concerned by the sound.
It's all right, stay in your rooms. Stay in your rooms, please.
What the fuck is
Everything's
Chop
fine.
doing here?
Make a persuasion check.
Stand your room. See here.
Persuasion or intimidation, your choice.
13.
13, okay. Most folks tend to like whisper and then kind of go back into their rooms. They're not likely to get involved in something when an authoritative voice says them not to.
Oh,
I
you
take the pieces of the
motherfuckers.
door and just kind of...
I'll walk
right.
over to the door.
With advantage on perception, halfling luck, and bardic inspiration, I got 24.
24, okay. Glancing around side to side. You don't see anything.
Put my snake head on Imogen's boot.
I've made my way out of the darkness and into the body and sort of look at her for a minute, and I'm gonna unclip my cape and just sort of give her a shroud real quick and just cover her up, just because the door's open, it's unpleasant.
Having dealt with these
Fucking lump.
guys before, I imagine you and I would start looking around
For
for the entrances, places they could get in the room.
It was interesting though because they were
With
him.
him.
Yes, they were different.
They
Ours
certainly
didn't
did-
explode.
No, and they had red eyes. These ones had black eyes.
You've seen these creatures before?
Shadow
Shadow
creepers.
creepers.
That's a cool name. Did you name them that, or did someone tell you that's what they're called?
No, apparently they're They're like rats in this town.
Yes.
Oh,
They're essentially little treasure thieves, goblins. They sneak into people's rooms. Our wonderful landlord, Shadana, she's been dealing with them for a bit, and we helped her defeat them. But normally it just seemed like they were out to come in, steal knickknacks and treasure, and, you know, go add to their little
Awful,
hoard.
but innocent.
Yes,
These seemed...
different, like you said.
mutants.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen so many of them?
Well, yeah, they come out.
Like she said, they're like vermin. Running hordes.
Orem gets a running start and with his boots of striding and springing leaps across the bottom of the balcony and rolls himself up.
Without issue.
Should finish checking the bedroom and get the fuck out of here.
Is that a mirror over there?
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
I'm gonna slither over there and
Okay.
and then drop wild shape once I get to the mirror.
Okay. So we'll say for this part, yeah, you go to that side. You go ahead and make your way over to the mirror and drop wild shape.
And I'll go over
Is there a reflection?
mending the door to patch it, so we have a bit
Okay.
more privacy.
All right, so you slowly the door begins to magically extend and repair itself with the pieces that Bertrand put up to it.
I would say we've been successful in our task. We've rooted out the problem and found the person that was also the victim, but I guess we could say is responsible. I'm not a fan of perhaps taking a body to Lord Esteros.
We could always... And I cast prestidigitation and clean the body up. We could pretend she's drunk and bring her to him. Act like our friend.
We could. Does anyone have any artistic talents? A sketch of her, perhaps, in case he knows who she is.
I'm very good at drawing.
It might behoove us to leave this scene and not
As it
be
is.
affiliated with it.
Agreed.
Just leave her here.
I feel like everyone saw us come up here. We weren't...
Personally, I see two options. We leave her in the bed, leave the place ransacked, something happened, or push her over the edge of the balcony and get out the other way.
Well, hold on now. I mean, did we inadvertently cause this in any way?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
No.
Well, so what? I mean, what exactly? She was stealing, but she was stealing for someone?
She was in bad business with a bad person, and bad things fucking happened. It happens.
Well, who was here? Who was first on the scene? Did anyone hear anything before we...
I did. I mean, we were there, but I got my ear down by the door. She sounded like she maybe had been giving them what they want, and that went sour.
I'm gonna go over to her body and check her pockets.
Sure. Go ahead and roll a general investigation check.
General investigation. 15.
15. You do find about 12 silver, 15 gold pieces.
Oh, the war horn's no good now.
The keys to the warehouse.
Do we need those? Who broke the door?
That's true.
But those are the things of importance and interest that you find.
Could be other locks.
Did you check that room? The one your balcony's at?
I was looking at... I looked under the bed and stuff. I'll keep looking around the room, but...
Orem
yeah.
looks over. Did anyone check that
You're
desk
checking other
yet?
parts of the room?
Yeah, remember I said I
Ashton's
was looking
standing
for
on?
places that...
Right. Then I'll say as an extension, as to your 20 earlier, which you did roll, under where the desk is,
Underwear.
there is a portion of the wall where the kind of baseboard-like structure of it is splintered, and you kind of get your fingernail in and pull back a bit, and it leads to a hole in the wall, about a little over a foot across from side to side, that descends into the
Orem,
wall of the building itself.
Yeah,
can you come here for a second?
sure. Oh, look at that.
Can you fit in there?
Yeah.
Are we a bit worse for wear before we start jumping into dark holes?
Boy,
I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I'm not doing so well. Well, I guess I'm okay.
I mean, we could shut the door and just lay
Take a
low
nap
for a
in
bit.
here.
I don't know if that's an option. We made a lot of noise. I personally want to get out of here.
We can always come back.
We can always come back.
You do begin to hear heavy footfalls, a series of steps making their way from the far end of the hall towards where you are, though the door is now closed and moderately repaired by you. You can hear.
I start to push the boards up and put the chair in place in the desk.
Should we just hightail it off the balconies?
Let's hightail it off the balcony.
Do we need to take this body, or are we leaving?
I don't know how we...
Did you sketch?
Is there any parchment in the room?
We're
I pull out the... there's not really time.
not taking a
It's
character
fine. I
behind
have a way
out
to do
to.
this.
I pull out the book
If we leave
that I had...
her and they saw us come up,
They're gonna think we
I think
killed
we
her.
did. If we take her, she's just not here.
How does she look? How does she look after you did?
She's cleaned up, but she's
was
still
got
got a
all
scratch.
the
Well, she's
fabric
still
with the-
wounded, but there's
Okay.
no
I
blood
leave
spatter.
it to you. Your call.
Weren't one of you two wearing like a big bit of textile?
I've got a tunic.
And I'll
I don't need
take.
it.
I'll
She's a
take the
gnome.
tunic. I'll grab the body, and I'm the strongest one, so
Hello?
I'm gonna roll it over.
Come on.
We're indecent.
Dorian, come here. And I just like pull him in, and I'll like open up my shirt a little bit.
The door, by the way, is still. Did you open the door?
I just like peek out.
All right, so there's a bunch of furniture that Orem just pushed up against it. You kind of just.
I'm giggling.
Against the door?
Or you
No,
did-
I'm sorry.
Oh, I misunderstood.
I was
you.
covering the hole under the desk.
Oh, I misunderstood.
put the
Okay,
boards
then
up
yes.
and slid the chair in.
Gotcha, I misunderstood. So yeah, so the door is available to you.
Yeah.
You open it up and you can see there's two like strong-looking humans who you've recognized briefly as you were scanning the room earlier as kind of like the peacekeepers of the internal space. You can see they both look like they're related, but one looks a little older and a little more haggard. The other looks a little younger and spry. And greeting you at the front, you can see is one of the employees who normally passes out, food and drink amongst the patrons as it's ordered. Looks to be a half-elf with kind of a light sun-bleached hair, kind of like sun-dappled skin with a smattering of freckles and these like, dark brown eyes. Kind of glances at you.
Hello? We've been hearing complaints about.
Oh my
Some sort of a-
goodness. We are so sorry.
Not the first time, if you know what I mean. Way too noisy.
We can tone it down.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Make a deception check.
Come on. Come on.
Well, you either both roll individually or one of you can have advantage.
Who's got great deception?
Oh, I think we both have pretty good, but I don't know.
This is your idea.
Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Robbie's got good rolls.
He does have good rolls.
How much
Maybe
is
we
one of
both
each?
roll.
One of each? Why would
One
you
and
put that on
twosy
me,
threesies. That's cocked.
Yep.
Because you're good.
Deception.
That's why.
Okay.
Dirty 20?
Oh, that's great. I rolled 16.
16. Kind of glancing over you a bit, glances over at you.
If you don't mind bothering the other patrons.
Well, you can always tell them there's room for a third.
You do see his cheeks flush.
I have to get back to work. But good evening.
Good night.
What? You hear them all begin to slowly make their steps towards the far end of the hallway.
While they were doing that, I just start ushering people towards the balcony.
Bertrand's
so we
one
can
leg
go.
over the railing, going like, "Oh God, no!" Please. Are we going?
So I just lift his leg.
Ah!
Perfect.
Fuck are you people? I'm just
this is the
I'm
area
taking
I
the
was
body
just
and I'm
in.
dropping off the
We're taking this
balcony.
body?
We should take
I've got it wrapped like Santa Claus.
Not on me.
I jumped
dro-
over the
I-
balcony.
Do I take any fall damage?
You would, yeah.
You would, yeah.
So it kind of looks
2
like
points
I
of
may
bludgeoning
have
damage. and not a sprained ankle, but like that's
kind of gone
you're gonna have
through
to sleep
everything
on
I
that.
can. There's
I
the
used Bert to
hag,
break my
but,
fall. Rolled it.
I mean, the hag and the...
I'll scoop up Imogen.
You take another
Are
2
you ready?
points of bludgeoning damage.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll flutter
you.
down
We'll
off the
fluddle.
balcony. Yeah,
We'll
we'll fluddle. I got my boots on. I'll princess carry her down to the ground.
Thank you.
I'll use my grappling hook to sort of lower myself down.
Oh my god, so cute.
The problem I have is that the gifts are too strong.
One by one, you all eventually make
me to do
your
anything.
your
They
jump
just-
off or
They
descent
wreck my
from the
shit.
upper
There's no
balcony into the
charisma
alley
checking. There's
behind.
no nothing I can do
the
to
Weary
get
White
out of
Tavern.
it. It's like I have to fight them.
We do now.
We get over to yeah, and
Yeah. I think we just go to a tavern and
no, we go to Estros.
that's what I said.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Westeros.
Okay. Yes, we go to Fort Estros right now.
5 pints.
This whole thing to blow over.
It comes in pints.
All right. So, as you arrive to the, well, I'd say for the most part, you are carrying a limp body. Who is currently taking charge in the transfer of?
Ashton.
I've bundled the body to the hammer like a hobo satchel, and like I've tightened it up as best I can to just look like a big lumpy mess.
All right. Yeah.
It is a gnome.
It is a gnome.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm strong.
That's fucked.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
You trek away from the Lantern District, back to the core spire, to the exterior of the Estros estate. There at the door, you are greeted by Evelyn, who peeks behind the door.
Is this good news or bad news?
Yes.
Mixed.
Mixed.
Be right back. Evelyn steps away.
It's all splattered with ash and blood.
A few minutes pass before the door opens once more. Evelyn goes,
Please, to the dining hall.
and you all step in and immediately met with a very sweet smell, almost like a fresh bakery of some kind. Like there is something fresh out of a warm oven, and just there's a sweetness and a warmth to the interior. It's very different from how you came here last time. You all head off to where you saw Lord Esteros had all those weapons hidden for the breakfast for the morning, but now you see the long table is set for 8 people. And on the far end, you see sitting the somewhat grumpy in appearance Lord Esteros in his kind of thick, familiar burgundy evening robe, tucked around, his glasses on, kind of sitting there, arms crossed, looking over at you as you arrive.
So, how has gone the journey?
Very well indeed. Bertrand Bell and his sorceress swords have delivered as promised.
I drop the bag on the table.
And what is this?
Well, this is half your problem.
I pull out the ledger and the note we took from the office. And
Pulls it forward, his massive hand almost that covers the whole paper as he pulls it in and reads it over.
Just walk into homes now.
That is the whole time.
well, yes and no. She was working with someone else.
You blink and
Do you know who?
You know, we were working on that.
He was very creepy.
We saw it.
You can describe him.
Pale, sallow dwarf.
You see the cunning eyes of this aged orc kind of going back and forth in the head, trying to place the description that you give of this figure before kind of giving a nod.
I'll see what I can look into.
He came in with like a team of shadow creepers. A small hole in the wall.
he called them his children.
Shade creepers.
Shade creepers. Gosh darn it! I knew we were saying it weird. That is, yeah, that makes more sense. That's why, like, people kept looking at us weird when we were saying it.
As opposed to shade creepers.
Shade creepers is cool.
I mean, there are pestilence on this city, but
Yeah, but these ones were special. When you killed them, they exploded into flame, and their eyes weren't red, they were black.
Yeah,
They looked almost like undead shade creepers.
I have a little heartburn.
She ate one.
what?
What?
I'm impressed. And this?
I open it up.
You see Evelyn in the back of the room kind of like,
oh, look at this house. You know how to deal with this.
he doesn't flinch really. He kind of like gives a look for a second and then,
It seems that those who deal in dangerous realms run this risk.
That's exactly what you said, Ashton.
That's because I'm right.
Man, yeah.
We'll take care of it. Dennis is my responsibility. I will make sure that the family is compensated, and I do not think it's necessary to have to sully her memory with this truth. But I am perplexed as to who she was working with and why.
You don't recognize the description that we gave?
I do not. But is this the extent of your report?
Oh, well, there's some more details.
Yeah.
When we were investigating the textile place,
Oh, that's right.
They were smuggling.
we found some missing items, but also we found some powder.
Broomstone.
Broomstone residue
In multiple crates.
that they'd been smuggling or hiding or ferrying around from someone.
he sits back in his high back dining chair, and as he does, it kind of shifts and creaks. There's the mass of his shoulders you can see is straining as he thinks, kind of stroking the edge of his chiseled chin. Even at his age, you could see this is a handsome orc who is, based on the scars that peek through, seen a lot of the world to an extent.
For the life of me, I cannot imagine what shade creepers or their ilk would need with broomstones. I thought maybe this thievery was related to the Ivory Syndicate, but this is a shift in the journey I was not expecting. Well, I thank you very much. Wow. And he kind of gives you all an intense look, kind of reading down, both looking at how hurt you are, but also how curious about these threads of mystery as well. Kind of nods slowly. I'm impressed. I ask you this. What's most important about this? The coin? How do you feel at the loss of this one?
Oh, you killed my guy.
Even though her deeds were dark.
I wish we could have been there sooner.
Come on, hit. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We're not done yet. Don't let us go yet. Give us a chance to find this dwarf.
Well, if you're still looking for work, I am certainly interested in pursuing this relationship.
We got pretty banged up back there. But, I mean, do you all want to keep going?
Or maybe we like sleep.
Take a rest, please.
But I mean, just in general.
If we do not know where this individual is, such an investigation will take time. There's no reason to push yourselves past the point of exhaustion and ruin.
If I may, this is a most generous offer. The connections you seek, the coin you require, Lord Esteros, is quite the one to provide such an opportunity.
I'm a man of my word, and I will have a contract drawn in the morning. We will formalize our arrangement. And as interested queries come to mind, I will notify you, call you. And should you be available and interested, the work is there. But for tonight, and Evelyn, you watch, drops these little pouches at the table where each of you are kind of arranged around. You can hear the clink of coin from within. As agreed upon, 150 gold each, with a 50 gold bonus for expediency.
I snatched it.
And if you would mind, I think there's a bit of a celebration to commence with this relationship. And for the first, ever since this hard, rigid orc has met you within these chambers, there's a smile that curls across his lips. There's a kind of a softness you weren't expecting. He stands up. And everyone's like, oh, I can... Look, this is my thing. And he turns around and comes back with, you see in his hands, this massive brown structure, this kind of rounded structure, and sets it on the table. After a long hiatus, I felt compelled to make a cake. So let us celebrate our partnership over a cake. And takes a little knife and begins cutting slices out of it.
This is amazing. A cake? Did you bake it yourself?
I did, and I apologize if it's a bit rough. I've not had a reason to make cake in some time.
What kind of cake is it?
Takes a slice. This is carrot. I hope you like carrot.
I love it.
It just looks brown. Begins passing pieces across the table, and Evelyn begins helping pass them out. And just kind of, you see there's a sense of pride on his face as he passes them.
That's my favorite.
I'm more familiar with pie, but this looks wonderful.
It's like a heartier pie, if you want to think of it that way. But, thank you. What do we call you? Bertrand's.
No.
Bertrand, no.
I do not like that.
The BBSS.
We will definitely.
No.
The backhands.
No, the back doors.
No.
No. Full frontal.
Think on it. There is no rush in this until we've solidified a contract, but I do require a title for your band of mercenaries.
Band of Mercy. Okay. Well, I mean,
That's a good name.
Just
It could
kind of
just be the
met.
band of mercenaries.
The band.
It's all about branding. Believe me, it'll carry you far.
We'll think about it.
We gotta all get to know each other a little better, I think.
We'll get better.
Naming thing.
Oh, I thought you just meant all of it in general.
Did you all have a name? The three of you?
We never quite settled on one, did we?
No, we didn't. It was...
Have any good candidates?
Not particularly.
No.
How is it? Do you like it?
Oh, it's so
delicious.
good. What is it? How is it?
It's very dry, but it's not bad. It's standard carrot cake with like some raisins in there.
What kind of frosting does it have?
Oh, there's no frosting on it. It is just cake. It is a cake loaf.
Do you have any water?
Or milk?
Yes. Coffee? And eventually he kind of looks over at your faces and goes,
It's so good.
right. Evelyn, could you make some frosting? And she steps back, but
As soon as I hear that, I'm gonna stop eating and wait for the frosting.
he doesn't seem offended. If anything, he seems a bit embarrassed that he forgot.
I just keep a bite in my mouth for a while and then just kind of let it fall out.
Coming up to work.
Perfect.
There's a little pile at the base of your chair.
Whatever he drops, I'll eat.
Great. But other bits of a meal are prepared. The cake is repaired with Evelyn's frosting, and together does make it a decent cake. Not the best you've had, not the worst, but a
an upturn from the frantic events of the evening. Throughout the night, there is questions and laughter. If there's any particular questions you have for Lord Estros during the dining period of the evening, you're welcome to ask, or we will move forward with the evening.
Can I ask a question while I'm eating this cake?
That's right. We know that we're strong enough now to beat the hag.
Hotel.
Did
the dwarf's attire resemble
we're moving up
what I
there.
saw in the past?
Not necessarily. I mean, there are some similarities in the kind of the darker clothing, but there was no heavy face covering. There was no interest, at least when you gathered for any sort of head covering.
Okay.
There, it didn't quite match the description, but you also didn't get a great look either.
Okay.
You don't know.
Lord Estros, why do you keep so much of the house in darkness?
I have, one, not as much use as the previous occupant did. And second, most of the chambers in this house are heavily trapped. So, do not wander, please. There have been many attempts on my life through the years, and I've gotten here by being careful.
Good to know.
I'll ask as the night progresses. I don't want to drag you into a personal matter, but I had some dear friends that met a bad fate near Avicii.
Right, the city of Avicii, yes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that.
You know, it's in the past now, but I don't know who was responsible for their demise, and I wondered if you had heard of any creatures around there that had...
There are many creatures that wander that part of the Odiran wilds. I've fought many in my days of past.
You see there's like in a brief bit of distraction, a glaze over his eyes as he begins to look into memories, and there's a nostalgic kind of grin that curls.
No, I was once a premier sellsword for a company called the Ruddy Hilt. A much better name than the Toppers, which was the original when I joined, and I pushed to change it personally. But in that region, I've fought a terrifying, mutated bog spider that had wandered far from the Heartmoor and set up in that space. We believe it was an alchemist's attempt before it ran free. There's a whole manner of odd trolls and their own divergent lineages.
Do you have any knowledge of any creatures that have one eye?
I mean, there are cyclopses, though not indigenous to these jungles. I have heard of many aberrations that have a central eye or multiple eyes. There are many beasts that can meet this description. Do you have any further descriptors?
Not really. That's all I kind of know.
Pirates.
Should any other information... Should any other information come to light, let me know.
I will. Thank you.
It's good soup.
Oh, that is evident.
This feels good. It's good to be back.
It does. You're right.
This is a rare opportunity to be in such demand and esteem.
There's like a direct line of eye contact with Lord Estros, who looks at you and goes,
It seems you
Indeed.
Damn.
blink and the wilderness changes.
Yes.
How did you know we were coming? Or have you just been waiting at this table for 48 hours?
I had made a cake just in case.
An emergency cake.
It had been around for a few hours, and I wasn't certain if you would arrive in the next day or 2 or 5. But this cake is designed to last quite a while before being cut into. So I felt confident.
Like a fruitcake.
More or less, yes. Also, when Evelyn told me that you would arrive, we quickly set the table. If it looks a bit slapdash, my apologies.
It's hot. I have to be big.
So your hobbies are baking cake, And covertly protecting the realm from evil. What an odd retirement. How did you come by it?
I also read a lot of books.
How'd you come by?
I'm thinking something as... Well, I did the odd mercenary work for a good 25 years of my younger life. And I made a name for myself here in Marquette. But one of my patrons, who I struck a strong friendship with, was Mistress Prudage, who was the previous owner of this estate and the business of which you had helped find this thieving within and others.
Which needs a new door, by the way.
I'll arrange it. Through this friendship over the years, I left my mercenary company and became her private protector, her bodyguard. That's where I met Evelyn, who has since become my caretaker. But through Mrs. Prudage, I learned true values. I learned what it meant to be more than just wandering for coin. I learned really how many people are challenged to protect themselves. And while there are some people in the Mahan houses, in the political structures in this space that are trying their best, there are others who are insidious in the need to climb and abuse their power. And other dregs and societies that sneak beneath the brimming darkness of the streets. I was hired over years to capture well over 200 fugitives, criminals, and members of the syndicate, so I was already familiar with their lack of morals. So, when it came time that she had passed from this world, I was surprised that she left me everything. And I continued to retire from my business and wanting to take her memory and her wealth and do with it the best I could.
That's wonderful. How did you die?
Natural causes.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Okay. 16.
This whisper is brought to you by I don't have anything to hit point press and a gigantic Tarrasque.
By our pet bandanas.
Our pet bandanas available now at the store.
Yeah, that's right.
They fit humans too.
They do, they really
and
do.
other animals probably.
Tragic.
Indeed. Well, nevertheless, the evening grows late, and I am up in my ears. I thank you for your candor, for enjoying this cake with me. And, well, hopefully this is the beginning of a wonderful relationship. And if you cross me in a line, I will have you destroyed.
That's not gonna happen.
I don't think so either.
But that's fair. And I guess we can do the same as well if you cross us.
I guess that is indeed fair as well.
I don't think we need to worry about that. I've always been taught that when you lie down with dogs, you wake up with puppy smooches. Because, you know.
That sounds wonderful, actually.
No, that's... Okay.
Nevertheless,
dogs are the best.
They are quite adorable.
The presence within the door images
Well,
his cries
have a
for
good night,
mercy
friends.
cackling kind of
Oh, I think that's our cue.
Oh.
Thank you. We'll
Are we
excuse
sleeping
ourselves.
here? Is that what?
I have no rooms that are fitting for sleeping for guests.
And they're all
That would
trapped.
not, in some terrible way, render you
If you ever
dead in your sleep.
assistance setting up a guest room, I volunteer.
She is excellent with furniture. Like, no joke. Like, her eye is just.
He looks back and Evelyn goes,
You were telling me about a remarkable.
sky
He goes,
as the door shudders
not
open.
now, but when?
Run.
Maybe.
Its form flickers.
Anyway,
Realize that the door
I'm going to retire. Evelyn will see you out. And he goes ahead and gets up, and it's funny, you fought this man, and he had a strength and a fervor, and for a brief moment as he sits up, you can see the age hit. But he still holds himself with dignity, grasping his silvered cane with the orb at the top that some of you had felt personally, and exits the chambers, as Evelyn also shows you to the door and out into the night air on the course fire.
The door, its form shimmering.
Well done. Well done.
Brushes
That was
in
fun.
as the presence within.
I had fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
That cake was delicious.
that's pretty good.
It was a bit dry.
Yeah.
You'll learn.
Felt a little strange eating the whole dinner with
Didn't
Dennis
know?
just sitting on the table like that. But
Dennis was taken and was
Dennis was not really doing it for you?
Dennis eating the cake and just staring over at the body. No, was very sorry. I should have specified. Not part of the dinner experience at all. So,
well, does that mean like we're in this together?
He did ask us for a name.
A name?
A name? What does that even mean?
Contract. Put it in writing.
Do we have to choose the name before the contract?
I think so.
I can handle the contract.
How it is traditionally done.
Yeah.
Make a name, make a contract.
I mean, I guess just for here, right now, working for him doesn't have to be forever.
Well, don't the three of you also have other business to attend to here?
You were looking for someone, right?
Maybe we can help.
Is it a bad someone or a good someone?
Are you a good witch
Or a bad witch?
Haven't run with a crew in a while. Long while.
I mean, I'm sure we all have things that we need to do.
We should also talk about what we can do and maybe like strategize because that was horrible.
Over more drinks. I feel like a celebration.
How about a walk and talk?
Yes.
To the tavern?
Let's not go to the same tavern. How about that?
The Spire by Fire.
Spire by Fire
Let's
sounds
treat it as
wonderful.
all right.
Drinks on me.
You carry your extremely hurt, bruised, bloodied selves. Though probably with prestidigitation easy enough to clean up, but still hurting. Selves to the Spire by Fire Tavern here in the Court Spire for rounds of drinks and
As
for.
we're walking,
Okay.
I'm just gonna, into Dorian's head, say, sorry about pulling you in like that. I hope it wasn't.
It was fun.
All right.
Reminded me of drama club.
A theater kid. I had no idea.
And as we're walking, Bertrand's right ahead of me. I'm just gonna kick the outside of his heel so that to make him trip over his own feet. That's it.
Yeah, make a dexterity saving throw.
I got this. I'm not worried. Dexterity saving throw. It's a 7.
Yeah, you eat shit.
And I'm holding the cane so it falls under the arms. Like, ah!
Oops. Oh, he's so old, Dorian.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, I definitely felt an alignment shift. Like, some stuff moved around back there.
No, he's not gonna.
Make him stumble, not kill him.
No damage. It wasn't that bad. It was just a minor bump.
I deserve that. I got carried away, and I will not strike without.
I'm gonna help him up. And I'm saying, you are forgiven.
Thank you. That's very gracious of you.
It's lucky that pile of fecal matter was there.
Prestidigitation.
I'm double checking for the earrings still around my belt.
Yeah.
All right, still there. Cool.
Okay.
Ashton, I'm not gonna need this, so
Thank you.
just give him all my money.
What do you think about this?
about hanging out with these folks?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, I mean, I think it could do. I think it could do you a lot of good.
Yeah, all right. Anyway.
I mean, they might get us into some more trouble, right?
I was literally just using you as a coin toss. I'm fine either way.
Well, I'm thumbs up.
All right. You have yet to get me killed, which is, to be fair, pretty impressive.
I try my best.
Can we grab a table outside this time?
Oh, what a good idea.
Oh, it's very nice.
What?
You're horrifying.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So are you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's get drinks.
I'll cover them. I have this. So inside, lovely. A round for Bertrand's bells. No, for the Drusilla dogs.
No.
Out here.
All right, yeah.
The villains.
The Bertrand Bellows.
Just think about
We'll say
it.
4 silver for the rounds. Mark that
Not
out.
a problem now.
But yeah,
Or ever.
you gather your evening drinks. You're welcome to converse amongst yourselves or go to bed, whatever you feel like doing.
Real.
Quiet.
Well, you had suggested earlier we share our strengths and weaknesses with each other.
It just might be good next time we get into a scrap.
That is true.
Does anyone else heal things other than myself and Dorian?
No. I can siphon life and give a little bit to myself.
Oh.
But it's just for me.
I may be able to. Sometimes.
May?
Yes, if I want to.
Oh.
Do you want to?
Well, it depends on how I feel about the person, I guess.
That makes sense.
Hypothetical scenario. Ashton is bleeding out in the middle of the street, crying out for help.
Never have. Grim.
Crying.
You have a chance to rush to his side to save him. We're hurt and can't help. Do you save him?
All of them senseless. Every last one of them, I've kicked their fucking ass. I may be hurt, but man, I took them the fuck down. Do you save me?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh.
3 healings.
No, she likes me better. That's just all that came to. Clearly.
Feels like you have some
I mean, it's
tricks
fair.
up your
I'm charming.
sleeve. They're very tight sleeves.
They are.
Very
They don't go up at all.
It's just pure starch. It's the craziest.
Finest of Marquesian polyester.
I personally am fucking exhausted. I don't know about the rest of you. Are we meeting here? What's the plan? We're going to tomorrow have some breakfast, figure out what happens next.
Yes, absolutely. I think we should return in the morning, unless the 2 of you live nearby.
Yeah.
Ditto.
We could return in the morning.
That way.
Oh, fantastic.
If you ever want to see it, let me know. It's fucking great.
The Crook House.
The Crook House.
We're over on the windowed wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice over there.
Do you all have a place?
We just got here.
Tourists stay in hotels.
Well, if you're going to be sticking around, you should probably find something. That might be a good thing to do with your time tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Like a
You
more
know-
permanent.
Yeah, maybe we could find someone else that'll rent a place over by us.
Brilliant.
It's really beautiful. We can show you in the morning.
Sure.
Actually, why don't we meet at your place tomorrow morning?
It's kind of hard to find, but we'll meet you on, what spire are we in right now?
You're in the core spire.
So that's where we live.
Yeah.
There's got to be.
Do you think they have extra rooms?
Well, we kind of had to ask around for. You know, maybe Shadana would have an idea. We can ask her tonight. It's
a good idea.
What about something near that library that you've been trying to gain
Oh,
access?
that's the. No, that place is hoity-toity.
Is there a particularly nice waterfall?
I mean, you would know, Bertrand.
Yes.
Off the windowed wall? There's like a nice centered chunk of the windowed wall, or.
Yeah, there's a number of, and then there's vertical gardens that are built into some parts of the wall, especially certain regions of the spire. Like it has a lot of natural, areas of beautification for gathering or wandering.
Well, we're not picky. We could just go with anything tonight and figure out something more
Yeah,
permanent.
maybe stay at the spire by fire tonight, and then.
Well, if you guys are staying at the spire, I'm going to run home for the night, and I will see the rest of you in the morning. You're welcome to stay or otherwise. I know you love people. All right.
Y'all just hear in your heads. Good night.
Good night.
Be safe out there.
All right. So
you too.
So the two of you make your way back to the cookhouse.
Ashton, can I have your drink before you join it?
Oh, sure. There you go.
That is a dick move.
And they make their way out of the establishment onward to the cookhouse.
So are we at Spire by Fire?
You are, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another round.
Oh.
Oh no.
No,
I was just feeling the group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Five silver a room here tonight. So.
One more before bed.
A room per room?
Yeah.
Is that normal? That's normal.
It's modest.
Okay.
Were we in earshot when he said another round?
No.
Okay,
you
never mind.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll cover the rooms as well. I get points.
Spire points?
Of course.
What's that race car phone, man?
Yeah. Get a free skyship journey to Amon and back.
That's pretty great.
Been saving up for like 4 years. On that. Yeah.
Well, I'm probably gonna call it a night.
I probably will too.
Yeah.
Okay. The two of you go to one of the rooms.
We're gonna head back to Shadana's, but we'll give them a good location to meet us at. If you guys want to meet, let's meet.
That archway that's got like the hanging plants. We'll
Yeah,
meet there.
that one.
The
It's
gates,
so great. Yeah,
yes.
that's where everyone will meet us.
Do you know
Okay.
where that is?
You got it.
The hanging
The
gate?
arch with the hanging plants?
Yes.
The hanging gate.
Okay. So, you all head off to your chambers for the night. You have a room paid for by Sir Bertrand Bell. You have your room as well.
I do, but I'm going to enjoy the night. This is a long time coming.
I pat him on the back as we leave and say thank you for the drinks.
You're very welcome. I hope you know how special this is. You don't always find yourself with the ability to mingle with these type of people. Do a lot.
No, I do find it quite special. I don't mingle with people very often, so I appreciate it.
Very glad to have come across all of you.
Bertrand, what type of music do you like?
Oh, I've had my phases. All sorts of music. The hard stuff, the light stuff. Orchestral. Jazz, I don't fuck with.
How about some of the light stuff? And I'm gonna pull my chair up next to Bertrand and kind of lean against the wall and pull my lute out and just kind of sit next to him and pluck a little tune for him and see if he likes it or not.
This is wonderful. I have to tell you, I haven't always been this in demand, but in Drusar, this is going to change things for me. It's been a while.
Been a while.
A lot of travel, lot of adventures. It's exciting. Feels like a new day.
Maybe I'll write a song about you.
You should. Hey, I'll make a list.
Slip it under my door tomorrow morning.
I'll need the whole night.
I want 10 titles.
All right.
Well, I'm going to retire. So I'll see you all in the morning.
Are we the three of us in one room? Is that what you paid for, Sir Bertrand?
No, you have all have your Bertrand's bells have their own rooms. The bell ends.
It's 2 gold.
What?
2 gold for the 4 rooms, including your own.
For the 2 rooms? You're not a real person. Got it. Let him know. BB.
I'm gonna walk up to the bar.
Okay.
Would you mind sending one more drink over to the older gentleman, Bertie?
Yeah, totally. I got you for that.
You give him something nice.
Okay, nobody likes. He comes in here and drinks every now and then.
Okay.
Thank you kindly. Kind of grasps it in his lion's paw and rustles the whiskers a bit and goes to pour the usual for Bertrand.
All right, I'm going to bed. If you wouldn't mind taking that to him, that would be great.
I got you. No worries.
All right. Drink is delivered.
Yes. Who is this from?
This is the tall kind of creepy horned fawn girl that came through here.
Bought me a drink.
Yes. Don't read too much into it.
I won't.
Alrighty.
You two off.
Oh yeah, we wondered. We were wondering back.
They head off. Burns off to bed.
Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna retire myself.
Are you sure? We could parade around the spire.
It's true, Bertrand should have retired years ago.
Yeah, this is the latest I have stayed up in 30 years.
You want help getting upstairs?
No. Every once in a while, you need to see the sunrise. It might be that night for me.
Okay, well, you want to get some sleep. I'll be back at it tomorrow.
I didn't take as much damage as you did.
That's true. That's true.
I've got him wrong.
Okay. Well, enjoy the night, gentlemen.
Night.
And I walk past and I stop next to the two of them and I just place a hand on Dorian's shoulder. Thanks for not letting me die on the floor there. That's one I owe you.
No debts between us.
Be wary. Nice place is trapped.
Okay. Any other events for the evening before you find
I'm
yourself?
gonna try to play him to sleep.
All right.
Count backwards from 100 to 1. 100,
How much more are we drinking?
As much as you want.
Who else wants a drink?
4 hands on the inside of the convoy. You're still kind of on the front area, and big hands go.
Take out the big bag of money we just got. I shake it. I know this is an unwelcome sight at times, but here's generosity personified.
Oh my god.
Alrighty. We'll say for the other 4 individuals, it'll be, and drinks for yourselves will be 3 gold.
Amazing.
And one last quick thing before I go to bed.
Okay.
1 point of exhaustion.
Once we get home, I want to head over to Milo's apartment real quick and give a knock.
Yeah. So you head over to the room in the Crook House where Milo stays, and
Milo, wake up. I take one of the bags of gold and throw it at their face.
They open the door. What? Oh! Fuck!
Cartilage gun.
That was like blood running out of their nose.
I can't believe you've done
How the fuck? What is wrong? I just. Whoa!
Dumbbell.
I'm thinking about running with a new crew. It's been a while. I don't know. I found some people I might be picking up some money, and I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah.
When you get some time, I need everything you can fucking find out about Lord Esteros. Everything.
Okay, I'll ask around. I got some friends.
It's good money coming in, but I don't know. You know what happened last time. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, no worries. Has she come around anytime recently?
That's, not recently, no. That worries me, and I would rather have that. I don't need that coming around right now. I want to cement this before anything weird happens.
No. I'll ask around. I'll see what I can find.
Make sure she doesn't find out.
You got it. You could like go for the shoulder next time.
I'll try. You should go to bed. I'm going to go find a place to throw up, and then I'm going to go to bed.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
All right, Ashton.
Night.
Oh. Ashton. Coins hit you in the face, and you see Milo hitting in their hand a cluster of coins they took from it.
How much damage?
Not enough to.
I don't know. I'm really on the. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm gonna leave you in there. Yeah.
Thank you.
When we get home, I'm just gonna take my bag and chuck it at Shadana.
Hey, series of murders. All right, old coin. The gold sack murders continue.
Yeah. The gold sack murderers. Is that our group name?
Yeah. It's just the two of you, yeah.
Money pit.
I will take my drink and I'll put it in front of Dorian.
All right.
I'll say, you are a trustworthy fellow, so don't tell the others. It has not always been this successful for me.
No.
I was part of a previous group called the Bevy.
The Bevy?
The Bevy. And we did not have as much. Why are you all taking notes? We did not have as much success as this one did. I think there's really something special here. So I want you to remember that.
Bevy.
Cherish this opportunity. It comes and goes. I have had years where I was the top of the walk and years where I was shit.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good to be
not shit.
To be back on top.
We will not let this become the Bevy 2 for you.
Yes, something new. Better. I have to go figure out where the windowed wall is, otherwise Imogen's gonna know I don't know where that is. I'm gonna go take a walk.
Mm-hmm.
You get some sleep, because you are fucked up.
You're going to go walk by yourself?
Of course.
What were you trying to find out?
I have to go find the windowed wall and this library.
I think it might be upstairs. I think the windowed walls might be upstairs.
I appreciate your good nature, but I want to walk.
The man should walk?
Thank you, Dorian. You need sleep.
You're right. Put my loot away.
I grab another drink off the table.
Oh,
Cheers.
Cheers.
To the Bertrand Bells!
To the Bertrand Bells!
In the tavern?
At this point, there's probably the same 4.
Let me hear it! Bertrand's Bells!
Bertrand's Bells! Shut up!
Landing.
Good night, Bertrand.
Good night. And I stroll out to figure out where the fuck they live.
Okay. And you're going to bed?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to bed.
Okay. Imogen.
Oh, shit.
And that's where we'll end.
Exhausted, sleep comes to you quickly. And you feel the gentle touch of the tall grass against your fingers. As you find yourself walking through the beautiful green fields of the home village of Jalvan. The breeze is cool and gentle, and you can watch the horses running through this plateau valley alongside the climbing Talent Highlands. You feel the nudge on your left, turning to see the snout of Flora, your favorite mare, acknowledging this look for a snack.
I reach in and give her something.
Bertrand, you are wandering at a zigzag through the streets of the Spire at night. You gotta pee real bad suddenly.
Yep. Time to bless the dirt.
There's not much dirt in the way around here. It's kind of an open street with alleys and kind of you know the windowed wall's a little ways away, but you can hold it or find a quick stop.
Not at my age. I'm gonna find a quick stop. Otherwise, it'll.
Okay. So you kind of duck into the side alleyway and begin to relieve yourself, and it's a genuine relief. A little bit of moonlight that's peeking through the alley. It's obscured to your left. You suddenly sense someone standing there.
Set up a camp.
You kind of glance over and you just see a silhouette.
Do I recognize this?
Make a perception check with disadvantage, you drunk asshole.
Guys.
Suck at perception. 6.
Can't make out any details.
I put my hand on my rapier hilt.
Mm-hmm.
Draw myself up to my full height. Say, Gertrude, are you, I'm sorry, friend. Can I help you?
The figure takes a step closer.
My friend is off around the corner. Can I be of some sort of assistance?
Takes another step closer.
I draw my rapier. I think that's close enough.
You sense this figure looking at you, and as they get closer to you, the full height of your stance, you can tell the figure's a bit shorter than you.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Cloak to hood maybe comes up to about your shoulders.
What'd you say?
Is it this dick? Is it the fucking door? Is it the door? Shorter.
Why don't we have a conversation? A little further in, and you see beneath the cloak there's a flash of metal as a familiar rapier glint hits the moonlight.
Further in. Where?
Points deeper into the alley.
Okay, is there anyone with him beyond him?
No, the alley itself is maybe about 8 feet from side to side, and they're kind of right in the center of it. And they're about 3 or 4 feet deep into it, and you're about 10 feet deep.
Oh, I think I'm fine right where I am. Seems I have you at a disadvantage, sir.
Yeah. Sounded like a dice.
What could it be?
In a sudden flash of quick movement, unnatural speed, the cloak whisks, and you feel a twinge of burning pain in your chest as you look down at the hilt of the rapier that's now up against your chest. You take 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Still on my feet.
That's a natural 20.
No. No.
It is.
Right there. As you glance down at it and kind of cough for the blade withdraws again and goes this time into the abdomen, right up to the hilt, for 16 points of piercing damage.
Unconscious.
Imogen. Just then the wind suddenly starts to change. Harsher. Colder. You turn, and your eyes find the familiar sight. The horizon, entirely consumed in red. Swirling, hungry clouds filling the sky and coming fast. Silent flashes of lightning in the distance as you stand motionless, watching the streaks of dark crimson rake across the heavens above you, darkening it, reaching for you. Flora immediately flees, and you stand frozen, the storm reaching around and consuming you, buffeting your face, the wind growing louder and louder until you hear her voice. Run, Imogen. Run.
I back up and start sprinting towards my house.
You go, and you run, and you run, and you run, and you rush towards that country home, which you now see darkened by the shadow of the looming storm as it continues to follow. You reach the door and tear it open, look over your shoulder to the roiling storm, and you see another figure standing where you were. At a glance, it's a man, older, refined, walking proudly into the tempest before he's gone.
What?
As you lie bleeding in the alley, your vision begins to blur. A coldness and a peace begins to come as the figure steps and blocks the moonlight and says, "So Bertrand Bell it is, huh? Good night." And that's a run for tonight's episode. We'll pick up from there next week.
No, we're gonna do it right now.
This episode already ran pretty late, but it was getting to fun stuff, and you guys are having great banter, but...
Probably should have said my name was.
Barry?
Barry?
As the vision fades, I just say,
Says who?
Well, we'll pick up from there. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you very much, and is it Thursday yet?
All right, did he die? We're gonna find out right now.
Crossed a vast realm. For 1 to 4 players, this installment features...
And a possibility of future work was set before you. You retired for the night back to the Spire by Fire Tavern. Amongst drinks and food, you all went to your various places that night to rest. While Sir Bertrand Bell, riding the high of the first victory in a while, wandered the night, found himself joined by an unexpected individual in the alley. As he lay there, left bleeding and alone, Imogen, a familiar nightmare came to you. And in the midst of that dark red hellscape, you saw the shadow of a man not unlike Bertrand stepping into nothing. And that's where we left off. So it was Imogen. Do you feel the dream is enough to wake you, or do you ride it through like you have before?
I feel like I would have woken up from that.
Okay. So, in your room, here in the windowed wall, not that far from Laudna, since there's not a lot of space in the place you're currently staying, you immediately wake up.
Laudna.
What? What's wrong? Are you all right? It's another nightmare. Are you okay?
Something happened in it, though. I saw someone else. I think it was Bertrand. I don't know what it means. But it's never happened.
What is the feeling that you got from it, do you have?
I don't know. He looked almost like he was at peace. Like he... But I don't understand how that's possible. Like, Laudna, I swear that storm is terrifying. Nothing would be comfortable there. And I don't know.
I just grab her hand. Whatever it is, there's an element of truth to it.
You tracked me down again, my friend.
Yeah.
That I had as much.
Gosh, means something.
There's no denying it.
I'm surprised. I thought all
Should we try and find the others?
Do we know what time it is?
I peek my head out. And does Shadana have like a little clock or something, or what I
No.
I look at the moon in the sky.
Make a nature check. Nature or survival, your choice.
Nature or survival. What is my nature? I'll do survival. Okay, I rolled a 2. So, 4.
You have no idea. You're still in that weird kind of like blinking-eyed darkness state of barely out of dream.
There's no windows in this room either.
In this room, no. The windows are at the front of the abode.
I'm just gonna... I don't know. Check on him? Should we check on him? Should we go back to the tavern?
I'd be up for a midnight stroll.
I'll just get dressed. Just quick throw on some clothes so we can get out and...
Okay.
Go in and just grab a cup of water, bring it over to her. Here, drink.
It's probably nothing. I just feel like it'd be good if we at least went there and made sure, you know?
Of course.
Okay.
Throw on clothes really quick. Throw on like a shawl, kind of throw it over my head.
Gather your things. You carefully step out into the main chamber. Sedona is not to be seen, probably asleep in her room. And as you step beyond the front door, down the various steps and winding pathways that lead between the clustered neighborhood that is the windowed wall, you come to the main street here in the core spire. And judging by the absence of people, it's probably fairly, you would say, late in the morning or late in the evening or early in the morning. It's in that weird liminal time space where you might be right on the cusp of sunrise. You're not sure.
Let's just back to the tavern.
Yeah.
Retrace our steps. Worst case scenario, maybe we can go and find fresh cut grass in Ashton.
Yeah, knock on his door at least. You know?
That's true. And I think the other group stayed here as well.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll head over to them.
Okay, so you head back to the Spire by Fire.
I thought the weary. Nope, Spire by Fire. Spire by Fire is where
Indeed.
they're sleeping. Yeah.
There's a lot of taverns and inns in this
Yeah.
town. It's a large town.
Too many Starbucks on this block.
Right. So you head to the Spire by Fire. It is fairly dead for the night. While it is open, you can see that the usual patronage is done. There are a handful of people that are really the non-functional alcoholics that are here at that early hour or work during the day or work during the night and then finish off their shift at this point and are just kind of in the process of dealing with their life choices. The usual individuals that you're used to seeing here are not around, and you see the different shift worker at the front of the tavern bar is an older human in his kind of mid-60s or so, thinning gray hair that is greased and combed straight back. And he looks like he himself is kind of probably making a pass for a nap here before you step inside, and he welcome.
Hi, sorry. What time is it?
It's probably a few hours from sunrise.
All right. I'm inquiring about Mr. Bertrand Bell, who was sleeping here last night. We were with him earlier. I don't know if you remember.
I do not recall, but
Older gentleman, ostentatious clothing. I think it was reds and yeah.
Vaguely, yes.
He has a tab here, and he put a few other people in his room. Could you maybe tell me what rooms those are?
He looks down, you can see he's checking tabs and like nodding and correlating the existence of a Bertrand Bell. But when you start asking for the room, he kind of looks at you oddly.
And what business do you have with Mr. Bell?
Well, you see, I don't want to gossip, but he has quite the problem holding his alcohol. So we just want to make sure he's not passed out or in a compromised position.
Make a deception check.
Come on.
Here we go.
Come on.
Here we go.
Cox.
I love shouting
Damn,
that.
is that real bad?
Should have been Cox.
Should have been Cox. 6. I rolled a 3.
My apologies, but we are not allowed to give out the specific information for tenants who are staying the night for, security purposes.
Of course,
I hope you understand.
We'll find him ourselves. Thank you so much.
All right.
Let's just head up the stairs and...
Gosh, I feel like I remember them shouting a room number last night, but I can't remember.
Can we... We didn't get a long rest, did we?
Did we get a long rest?
Not yet.
It's amazing. Finding a hotel room.
Bertrand!
Bertrand!
Bertrand! I make sure that it's loud enough that the person downstairs can hear us shouting for Bertrand. If we had your room, Bertrand!
Please, could you not do that?
Sure, if we had his room number, we wouldn't have to shout,
You can wait till morning and
No,
when
we can't, sir. We really can't.
Well, good luck with the tenants then.
And he just goes back to the desk and is gonna let you go.
Can I check room 4? I feel like 4 was the number that I heard.
Don't knock on 4.
Bertrand? Bertrand?
You hear rustling.
Oh shit.
No,
Fern?
that's good.
Maybe it's Fern.
Bertrand?
Fern. Oren. Bertrand.
The door
Dorian.
opens and you see a heavyset elf, hair all a mess, looking like the giant bags under their eyes, just go, "What?"
You're not Bertrand. I'm just move on. Room 3.
We're doing it. Oh yeah.
15 NPCs, get them ready.
There's a brief pause, and you hear some whispering.
Who is it?
Oh, that's not... No,
Never mind.
Do you need change of sheets?
No.
Never mind.
No.
Room 2.
Yep. Well, she does 2. I go to 5.
Okay. Room 2, you knock.
Bertrand? Are you in there? Fern, Orem? Dorian?
No response on room 2.
Bertrand?
No response. Room 5, you being the most perceptive of the group, suddenly jump awake at the sound of heavy knocking at the door.
Hello?
Oh!
Yes?
Oh!
Yes?
Orem, it's Ladna!
Did you ask him what room Bertrand's in?
What? Orem, what room is Bertrand in?
I think he's 2 down from me.
7 or...
Oh, is it? I hate it when they do like every other one.
Orem comes out into the hall just in his breeches. What is going on? It's
the two of you have begun to arouse and wake up from the...
I'm looking for Bertrand.
Did you
For what? Do you know what time it is?
No, actually.
I come out holding Mister, and his little bow is all smushed. My hair's all smushed.
What's happening?
Are you okay?
I don't know.
It's complicated, but we have a bad feeling. Imogen has.
This is so dumb.
It's okay. It's not dumb. It's not.
I just need to make sure he's okay.
Who?
Bertrand.
Who's?
I walk down to the door that I know that he's in, which Liam doesn't know.
Yeah.
But
Is it 2? Is it 2?
No, it's 7.
Oh, shit. Walk away from 2.
It was going to be your eventual choice.
Yeah.
Mr. Bell, I'm sorry. Bertrand?
No response.
I get out my lockpicking kit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Are you proficient?
No, we've been through this.
Yes, right. So just go ahead and roll. My apologies.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound
No,
shitty.
that was amazing.
Just a dex.
Just dex check, yeah.
10.
Does not pick it.
Did anyone
Mr.
see
Bell?
him go to bed last night?
Wait, what is this, feeling? You said you had a feeling? What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
I had a dream about him. You're not here.
Yeah, nothing but salmon.
Imogen, she has these senses, and they tend to not steer us wrong.
I've had a dream for a very long time. A very long time. And while it morphs and grows, it never really changes, if that makes sense. And tonight was the first time I've ever seen someone else in it. And it was Mr. Bell. And I don't know, I don't know what it could mean, but it makes me nervous for him, if that makes sense.
Do you feel like it's a premonition of sorts?
I genuinely have no idea.
I want to go right over the door and rattle it and knock again. Bertrand?
I mean, I left him with you last night. When did you leave with
He
him?
was with us. He was
What did he
drinking
do?
God.
I saw him right before he went to bed, or I thought he was going to bed, and I stayed up. I tried to take him upstairs. He was very drunk, and he said he was going to look for you.
For us?
Yeah, something like that. He said he was going to try and find your home, or I don't know. He just said he wanted to
find us.
Well, we were supposed to meet up right in the
He
garden.
insisted. He said he wanted to go for a walk.
While they're all arguing, Orem pats back into his room and comes out with his blade. And,
Did you see?
Get out of the way.
Did you see
Please.
which direction he walked away in?
I'm striking the latch off of his door.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
It's a 19 plus 25.
Go ahead and roll damage.
This is what we should have been doing with doors this whole time.
Just slashing
Just
them.
slashing
9.
them.
Who needs a roll?
It takes you 2 hits in succession, but very quick succession, and the knot just falls and hits the ground. And the door opens up in front of you.
Bertrand?
With the impact, you hear Mr. go.
It's okay.
Creep in.
Doesn't like loud noises.
Oh,
look like
I
he
think
stopped
he's
here
just
at all?
nervous.
Looking around, the place is fairly undisturbed.
Is he in bed?
Room's empty. No one slept here.
Is his cane here? His overcoat?
Nothing. Fuck that. I'll look. I'll roll the place.
Okay, make an investigation check.
That is 14. 12. Excuse me, 12.
12. Looking through here, the place looks like it had been recently cleaned, though they don't clean a lot. There's still dust gathered beneath every surface.
Is the bed made?
The bed is made and looks untouched.
I mean, he said he wakes up really early, but I think this might be a little too early, right?
No, he wasn't here.
I fast walk back to my room and I grab my cloak, my outer cloak, and I put it on and I'm walking down the stairs.
Yeah, I'll follow you.
Well, wait, hold on. I mean, this is Bell we're talking about. Maybe he's just, carousing.
Sure.
Maybe?
I don't...
I'll get my stuff.
Same.
Did he say anything to you? Anything weird?
I'm sorry, you guys.
No,
I'm sorry.
He was happy. He was fine. We sang songs, we laughed, we drank, and then he just said he was I shouldn't have left him.
Hey, this isn't your fault.
We'll find him. Ready?
Which direction do you go?
Well, if he was looking for you guys, maybe we retrace our steps to wherever. Did he know where they lived?
I don't think so.
Well, we were all going to meet, yes, at that...
He knew it was the windowed wall, so he would have headed in that
And
direction.
we were all going to go to the vertical gardens, if you remember.
I think he took off this way, and I'll point toward
All right.
their place.
Okay. So as the five of you trek out into the darkened streets of the core spire, wandering through what you assume to be the path someone like him might take when...
Is it still very dark?
It's still very dark. I mean, it's a relatively clear night, and you can see Katha is, partially, not completely full, maybe like 3/4 waxing. So you have a decent amount of white light that's kind of hitting the stones of the street and framing some of the buildings.
Okay, I'm gonna hold up my hand, and 3 little flickering spheres of lightning energy are gonna come out of my hand and cast a kind of a purplish glow wherever I send them, to see in corners and...
Cool. You see a couple of kind of dirtied miners that are making their way from the smolder spire kind of react to the sudden flare of energy and just kind of take a wide berth as they walk past the group, but you continue forward. If I could have each of you in the group roll a perception check for me, please.
Jesus, that's such dog shit.
22.
20.
20.
19.
Wow.
Okay. As a group, especially when you're driven and working together, you can pick up a lot of detail in the environment. You come upon one person you see slumped at the edge of the gutter, and as you approach nervously, they kind of react and turn and look, and it just looks to be a person who had a long night at one of the taverns. It is definitely not Bertrand. Going on for a bit, you begin to second guess whether you're worrying for no reason, until you're the first to see in one of the alleys to the right what looks to be a dark shape left about 10 feet back on the ground, vaguely humanoid.
I mean, maybe it just means he's shady or something,
I don't know if I trusted him.
Hold here for a second. I'm gonna creep into the alley.
As you approach, kind of going through the motions of stealthy arrival, you feel your heartbeat begin to beat faster and higher up in your chest. Your throat begins to close slightly with the eventual reveal of familiar details, as this is indeed a person lying on the ground. They're not moving, but it is indeed Bertrand Bell.
Y'all just see Orm turn back to you all.
Odd. Someone's cut a notch in the tree there.
I send my lights over.
I start to slowly walk over.
I'm gonna stay back.
I'll rush over to Orm.
With the lights, the crackling, kind of purplish pink energy that lights the space, it is definitively Bertrand, and that brief little glimmer in your mind of maybe he just got drunk and fell asleep sinks into a deep, fearful sadness as you can see the pull of still wet blood that has encircled him, and the numerous puncture wounds that are visible on the chest. Oddly, serenely smiling.
Fuck.
Careful. I'll just start scanning the area.
Perception check. What are you?
I'm gonna go over and try.
Of the brief, fearful sadness as you can see the pool of still wet blood that has encircled him, and the numerous puncture wounds that are visible on the chest. Oddly, serenely smiling.
Fuck.
Careful. I'll just start scanning the area.
Perception check. What are you?
I'm gonna go over and try to cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay. Go ahead and place your hands, and as you touch the body, the first thing that catches you, even though you're still going through the motions and reciting the incantation for the spell, cold to the touch, and as you release that bit of magical energy, no effect.
I put my hand on Dorian's shoulder.
I turn and I grab Imogen's
Tell
wrist.
you what, this girl right here, she looks so hurt.
I don't know. Can I tell how long he's been dead?
Roll a medicine check.
You gotta be fucking me. Natural one.
Oh
Dog
no.
shit today.
I think you keep rolling that.
He looks just like me.
Wake up.
Switcheroo.
Wake up.
His complexion looks better.
Cleared up.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Numerous reasons. I mean, you gather it's relatively recent because you saw him earlier, and the blood is still wet, though a bit coagulated.
I'm gonna check his pockets. I'm gonna take whatever's in there.
Okay. I'll have Travis text you whatever Bertrand had in his pockets.
And I got a 19
You just got all of his shit.
scoping the area.
Wow, one man's trash.
Still warm.
Come on.
Not warm, thankfully.
Just a pocket full of
Slightly
Werthers.
less. 19. Yeah. All right. You do look around the space. You do not see anybody paying attention.
But we're in an alley.
You are about 10 feet into a dark alley.
Yeah. Okay. But there's nothing, no, any kind of telltale sign or tracker, anything. I don't think I'm going to find anything, but I'm looking for anything left behind by whoever did this.
The only thing that's visible here is Bertrand and his wounds.
While scanning every inch that I can see in the really dim light that Imogen is providing, I just sweep across them at the end of the alley and I just clock how bumped Imogen looks. And then I just go back to searching, even though I feel like I'm not going to find anything.
Right.
Just keep at it.
So if you want to roll a medicine check, if you want to learn about the specific wounds on his body.
19.
Damn, okay. These are, they're definitively 6 punctures, actually. 6. About half of them are from a stiletto-type knife, and the other looks to be some sort of a rapier. The weaponry you immediately connect is very similar to that which you saw being wielded by a pale dwarf figure earlier in the night.
Who poked me full of holes.
Yes. You know those wounds because you bore a few of them.
It's a bunch of shallow stabs and one not so shallow.
Are you getting anything?
Came back to finish the job. This was done by the dwarf we found.
How can you tell?
He just lifts up his shirt and you see like the barely closed wounds on his belly. It's the same kind of wounds. Can't be a coincidence.
We can't leave him here.
No.
But if we take him somewhere, then someone's gonna know that we found him here. So is it better to just leave him here? I feel like that's terrible now that I'm saying that out loud.
Yeah.
How far are we from Lord Estras's?
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Probably about a 10-minute walk.
We have to take him.
Okay, I'm gonna try to lift him up.
I'm gonna use, just in case we run into some guards or something, I'm gonna prestidigitation his clothing so there's not blood all over it.
Okay. All right.
We'll take his cloak and kind of cover it up so he just looks like he's sleeping.
Okay.
We're not far. Let's get moving before
it gets too light.
Why don't,
I'll snuff out my lights.
Fern, Dorian, do you want to bring him? And then we can kind of make sure no one else gets too close.
Yeah.
Put him on our shoulders, make it look like he's well.
Drunken night out.
Weekend at Bertrand's.
Weekend
Oh, come on! Come on,
Weekend at
God, that's so good.
Oh, good.
Okay.
What did you, by the way, what did you find?
I found so many things.
Wow.
Okay, well,
Oh no.
he had lots of things on him.
Damn it, Trap.
Maybe some of them could be,
Yeah.
clues. This looks like a
Travis, figurine made.
30-year-old condom.
Big letdown.
We going through these? We got some peanuts.
No, we're not.
We have two choice items.
Give me a peanut.
It's a peanut.
No.
Delicious peanuts.
I do like the icy hot.
The icy hot.
TV guide.
TV guide is really good.
I'll leave the rest.
Yes, there's good articles every week.
Asshole.
Yes, definitely Werther's originals.
Yeah. Werther's guy out in the Dalian Empire.
What is it like on the set of The Golden Girls?
My God. So, the two of you are propping him up, and the rest of you are running interference as you make your way towards Lord Estras's place. Correct?
Yeah.
While you two still sleep, unaware.
And get a long rest.
And get a long rest.
Yeah.
So, eventually, you come to the exterior of the Estras estate. Knock on the door. After a prolonged wait, you see a very, very tired Evelyn open the door, kind of nightcap on. Hello, can I help?
Sorry.
We need to see Lord Estras.
She kind of looks past and sees the both of you. Right, come in. Leads you inside. This place is already pretty dark and creepy when it is prepared for arrivals. When it is lightless in here, it definitely has that kind of haunted house vibe to it. Evelyn has a single, looks like a handheld candle, but the light itself is just a glowing orb. It is a magical candle that she uses to light as she continues past. Go ahead and wait in the study. I'll retrieve him for you.
Have you been in the study before?
Study's where you fought him.
Great.
Go in there. It is dark beyond whatever light you decide to bring within.
I'll send out the lights again.
All right.
Should we set him in a chair? Or?
Maybe lay him on one of the tables.
This is the second body we've laid on this table in 24 hours.
It's a different table.
Oh, that's right. So dark in here.
Yeah, we'll set him on the table.
Maybe, Fern, you could, maybe the rugs. Yeah, those rugs look nice and soft. I don't know. Maybe you could light a fire in the...
The fireplace catches. There's no that warm crackle in here. Eventually, you hear the door open to the study as Lord Esteros comes in, heavy kind of nighttime robe, himself having one of those like long Dickensian nightcaps that kind of just over the shoulder, kind of rubbing his eyes a bit as he puts his spectacles on.
So, Evelyn told me,
Looks over at Bertrand's body.
Right.
We had no other contact. You're the only other person we know who knew him.
This was an entanglement. It came from the job we did for you.
I am sorry. This is gravely unfortunate.
What are the thoughts running through your head right now?
I'm trying to think if whoever is responsible for this is indeed based on the job you did or something mayhaps he was tangled with before.
No, I don't think so. Our friend here found something.
The person we all tangled with found him later in the same day. Like it was nothing. Who's to say they're not gonna find you?
Or any of us.
Well, in that case, it would do all of you well to not travel alone. In fact, I would recommend as much of your group as possible. And I would perhaps find the other two as soon as possible. Let them know. For we do not know what sort of danger they are in, either.
This is presumptuous, maybe, but at least tonight, would you permit us to stay here?
Yes. I apologize, but you must give me a moment to clear a room.
Of course. Thank you for allowing it.
Good thinking. Do you know of anyone who would take this personally?
There are many who would take this personally. But I do not know what sort of interpersonal struggles or enemies Sir Bertrand would have made outside of our brief dallyings, in which he was mostly engaged in running.
I'm curious about your enemies. Not his.
I have many. This is an inconsequential, and I mean this with all due respect to the dead. But if someone is trying to hurt me through Bertrand, they are a fool. And my enemies are not fools.
Will we stumble onto something? At your behest, but we stuck our noses into something, and whoever this individual is, whatever he represents, didn't like it. And maybe Bertrand is somehow wrapped up in something, but this ties right back to the warehouse. So if Bertrand's involved, it's a coincidence.
I am wrestling with my own frustration and regret for unintentionally causing this by getting you involved. It was him that requested work, but none of us knew this would be the outcome. I've seen many in my time pass. Some horrifically. Some by my hand. So maybe I'm a bit numb to these sort of things. But that does not mean the loss is lost on me. I could look to arrange something of your preference for those that knew him.
None of us knew him very well.
Well, speak with Evelyn. It would be a shame to not give him a proper send-off. As to whatever this business is, I do not wish to pull you further into such danger if it makes you uncomfortable. I could look into hiring others to follow this thread with less heat.
I feel like I would like to see where the end of this thread goes now that we've pulled it a little bit.
I don't want whoever did this to Bertrand to get away with it.
Neither do I.
Come for us.
We scooped him up. We sort of had his things, and I grabbed his cane and the gambler's blade. I've got it in my hand, and Bertrand put up a fight. I think I'd like to as well. And I'm gonna give the cane.
Takes it and kind of holds it in his hand a bit, turning it in his palm. Then a fight we shall have. Rest here for the night.
The inscription
Take the time
is
you
in a
need in safety.
language unknown to you.
Then, well, follow what leads you wish.
Thank you.
I can keep the rooms here for as long as you need.
The inscription
Taverns are not
is in a
safe for
language
whoever this
unknown.
is still about.
The inscription is in a language unknown to you. The inscription is in a language
I have many
unknown to you.
allies that whisper through these streets for me. If anything comes my way, speaking of this individual, I will let you know. But you are welcome to search as well.
Some of us should go get Ashton and letters.
Look at
I
that.
don't know. I don't know where they're staying. Does anyone?
I remember which rooms they were in. I can go.
I thought they're in the down below.
Crook house.
The Crook House? What's the Crook House?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe Crook House, that's right. I don't know where they are, actually.
I think, would Imogen and I know where the Crook house is? Having been here a little
You
bit
wouldn't know where the Crook House is. You would know where the Fonzie Hollow is.
Hollow, you might know.
Which you heard them mention. And so you can go there and search and ask around until you find it.
We were going to also meet up together at dawn.
Yeah. I think maybe the best bet, God, I don't know, would be to sleep and meet them when we're supposed to and let them know what's happening.
Let them get a full rest.
As you're having this conversation,
You touch the button, let him touch the button.
I just want to touch the button.
The monster button.
yeah, the Lord Esteros kind of steps over to where you've laid Bertrand on the ground and kind of kneels down, holding the cane that you handed him. Just gingerly places it into his hand and closes the fingers around it and kind of pats it before standing back up and still looking down. There is too much injustice. We're not pushing back hard enough. And he turns and leaves the room.
I'm gonna go over to Bertrand and kneel down next to him and just like, I'm gonna look at his face really closely, stare at it for a while to see if there's anything I can see on him that would connect him to my dreams. And I'm gonna lean down very close to where my face is on the side of his. And just try to see if I hear any noise.
Looking over him, nothing strikes you as a direct connection to anything in your dream. And you contemplate, and you focus. It's just quiet.
I'll go stand by Dorian. Put my head on his shoulder. It's not your fault.
I know.
Do you?
Mr. climbs over her shoulder and kind of onto yours and just kind of like pushes against you.
I'll give him a scratch behind the ears.
I'm gonna say into Bertrand's head. Just mentally.
Rising from the dead just to protect.
I'm glad the noise has stopped for you. I'm glad you're at peace. I'll go stand by Laudna.
Just give her a big hug.
Trinkets may be worth.
I'm gonna figure this out.
I know. I know.
But just wonder what kind of gifts are truly rolling around inside of you.
A lot of effort to hide one side.
I haven't even begun to scratch the surface. I'm sorry.
I wish this gift would have shown us something sooner.
I know. I know it's a burden. I get headaches just from listening to people chatter out loud. Could only imagine the dumb shit people have rolling around inside their heads.
Yep, I saw that coming.
Bertrand was full of a lot of dumb shit.
He was. Yeah, he was. Hi, Fern.
Hi. Have you
Real pissed off.
been to that place before that you see in your dreams?
So he has spoken.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
now stands
Yeah, I always, I'm always at home
What a curious.
in my dreams.
Now, I have a question for you.
And then,
What is the worth?
and then a storm comes.
mortal's life?
Have you ever... Not to... sorry if this sounds rude, but have you lost anyone that you're so personally connected with?
That's the thing, like,
Curiosity. Nothing more. Wilt thou answer
I mean,
my question?
no, not really.
So
I've told you about how I hear that voice speaking to me, and I've always just, I don't know how I know, but it's my mother, you know, helping me. And like I always imagined it was her, and I don't know, speaking to me from another realm or something, leading me away, and
is achieved.
it was hopeful.
If all are war, none can win.
But now that Mr. Bell has passed away and he was in the dream too, like, what does that mean? Does that mean...
We have met, and I know
It could still be a sign of hope.
see each other
Or at
again
least
at the proper time.
a warning
Place.
to keep you from getting in the same danger.
Yeah. That's probably what it is.
Through all of that conversation, Orm has been silent the whole time on the other side of Bertram.
We have nothing
Mostly
more
not wanting to
discuss.
speak out of
I
turn,
must
just
attend
listening.
This place after
I'm looking at Bertrand, and it's really subtle, but he's struck by the fact that
when the
2 days ago,
is
no one in this room knew each other.
But I do know that the longer thou
And you
stand
can feel
the
them
farther
leaning on
away
each other
thou s-
a little bit. And just notes it and tucks it away.
much changed.
I'm so exhausted. I'm so sorry we interrupted you guys' sleep.
No, this was very, very important. And, you know, sleeping's for the dead. Oops.
Oh.
You hear this.
Just have really great timing.
You hear this odd noise echo from somewhere in the room. And you all hear it loudly upwards, and you look to the ceiling above, and you see blades in an awkward pattern, all suddenly jutting about an inch or so out of the wood and stopping, and just kind of almost laying there like this spread of sharpened points.
Oh no, is Mr. Esteros?
Traps.
Did someone else die just now?
One of the blades gets pulled out, and there's a slight bit of light that comes out. And
Sorry, I'm just clearing the room.
and then the next one, and the next one.
I could help you patch that.
Sir, go for it.
Start mending and patching.
How are you on the ceiling? Do you just climb up like
full of mud or something? For goopy hands.
Eventually the room is ready, and Evelyn lets you know whenever you're looking to rest, it is yours.
We should get some sleep. I know FCG and Ashton are going to be meeting us early.
Yeah, should get as much sleep as we can.
You all right?
I'm all right. Tired. Sad.
Yeah.
Get some sleep. Everything is better after a night's rest. Or a nap. It's gonna be more like a nap.
Long nap. Does it add up? Does a long rest?
Can we get one if you
Is it
take a nap?
cumulative?
I'll say it doesn't have to be, like if you all of a sudden wake up in the middle of your 8 hours, it doesn't reset.
Okay.
We'll say between the two, you can eventually get another 3-4 hours of sleep or so and complete your long rest. But yes, you eventually awake after a long, drawn-out evening, physically and emotionally.
2 episodes. It's killing me. I just had this like notification on her screen. I just wanted to just click it away for episodes.
The dismiss.
Yeah. It's been killing me.
Curse you cookies.
A lot of emails sit, don't you?
Yeah.
Deleted one.
That's the weirdest character death I've ever had.
Well.
So, night's rest. Both of you come to consciousness in the cookhouse. As you do, the morning sounds greet you as you begin to kind of pore over the events of the previous day, the successes that you saw, and the events that you have before you. As you begin to rustle and gather yourself, Annie kind of pokes into where you're sleeping.
Annie!
Hey.
Hey.
So, did you get work?
We got work. We got work!
We sure did.
We got work. There's money coming in. I've already dropped some with Milo. I feel like this is going to be an ongoing gig. This has got a feeling. It's got a feeling.
It doesn't feel like anything to me, but it sure could.
They know. They've got a feeling. But yeah, we're going to have...
Great. I love it.
We're going to
have some?
Yeah. Fuck. So, I'm going to throw... what do I got? I'm going to throw like 100 gold.
Whoa!
In... I'm going to throw 100 gold at Annie, because...
And he goes, holy shit.
It's a good gig.
Yeah, keep doing this.
We're not necessarily going to be around a lot for a while. Let everybody know. Let Milo know. I think we're going to be having to pull some all-nighters. So
I'm going to get a new outfit and instrument for the Dreamscape audition.
I'm looking forward to it.
How goes the rehearsals?
They're fine.
Yeah? You ready to show us anything?
No.
You sure it's better to rehearse in front of an audience?
That is patently not true. I do most of my work away from everybody.
Okay. That's fair, if that makes you comfortable.
I appreciate the attempt.
But you will have to play in front of others at some point, and so it's better to do...
when they pay for it.
Okay.
Oh, I will be so happy to pay to give you my honest opinion of what you're working on right now. It'll be great.
I cannot wait.
Me neither.
Thanks, Ash.
You know how to find me. Let Milo know they know how to find me.
Have a smiley day.
Every time.
Smiley fucking day!
Anna just walks away, both middle fingers in the air.
She likes you.
Yeah?
Let's go,
Yeah,
meet the
well,
new
I think we were
coworkers.
supposed to be there closer to dawn, but knowing these folks, they're probably not even
We're
there
still
yet.
going to be the first. And
Yeah.
I got an idea. Let's make some friends. Let's pick up some sandwiches on the way. Let's get some like breakfast sandwiches. I got a place down here. Trust me, they're great.
I do trust you. That you still have some funds left over for.
Yeah. I've got some stuff left. I'm not gonna
You're
give
so
everything.
generous this morning. This is amazing.
When you got it, you got to use it. So
That's true.
dive
All
with it.
right.
What are you gonna do? All
Lead
right.
the way.
I'm gonna go get some breakfast sandwiches for let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 breakfast sandwiches.
Okay.
No. Bertram can buy his own.
Nice.
Okay. We'll say that puts you back 3 silver for the full batch.
I want like a runny egg.
Runny?
Yeah.
Some avocado with pepper and salt.
And start. All right.
We go to the meetup at.
Window to wall.
Yeah, there's the arch you guys talked about.
The vertical part. Good call.
The rest of you wake up, briefly caught off guard by the unfamiliar space, that moment of when you wake up in a hotel room and you're like, where am I? This room is extremely dusty, and you can see in the floor the shredded parts of the rug as part of the entryway to it where the blades were set. While the floor was repaired, the rug itself is still kind of jacked up a bit, and kind of glancing at that, you can look up and see there are all manner of like hidden spring contraptions, and get a little sense of the seriousness that Esteros lives under day to day.
Glad it was dark in here when we came in last night.
I'm gonna start a new game, just because I feel like I'm at a standpoint right now. I'll come back to it.
Let's go find our
more
friend.
That's it.
Good news, I didn't dream about them, so they're probably still alive. Hey.
That's good. That's good.
Gather your things and head out into the morning light here in Drusar. The evening mist that had gathered around the base of the jungle still sits heavy over the vistas before you, and you can barely see the jungle. It looks like you're sitting amongst these mountaintops high up in the sky. There's just clouds beneath you. But you know in the next few hours or so, those will burn away into a verdant junglescape.
The birds started yet?
Yeah, the birds have begun to take to the skies, and the familiar distant chattering of thousands upon thousands of jungle birds can occasionally waft through the air around you.
Oren gives Dorian just a little shoulder check, like a little bump. You okay?